Hey everybody, welcome back to Trinity Dairy. Today is March 18th, 2025. A little cooler and cloudy today, but still not too bad out. So we're going to start working our project. To start this video, it's going to be on the 806 here again. So I've been running this pretty much every day, at least starting it and getting the feeder wagon, feeding cows, stuff like that, just to use this thing and get everything moving. The engine has been warming up like it should be. The thermostat seems to be working perfect. Been very happy with that, but still haven't had any heat get up into my cab heater. So I was kind of figuring that maybe the heater core up there was plugged, but then I was thinking yesterday I would check the hose. So this hose that come in and it goes up the post of the cab here, where it was exposed here, there was kind of a spot that felt funky in it. So I unhooked it and I put a rod up there, and it actually went past that part okay, but when I got into here I couldn't go through anymore. It's either pinched off or plugged or something. So I got some new hose. I'm going to get that replaced up to the heater core, and then we'll see what's going on there. Hopefully that'll fix it, because when I opened this valve, when I had it running, I had plenty of pressure there from the water pump. So we'll try this, and then when I run it later to feed cows, we'll see if it's putting out any heat. All right, so here's the heater core up under the cab roof. I got that flipped up. This is where the hose comes up out of here. I don't know, I guess maybe I should have got the hose to replace this one too. When I did the other side, I just replaced the one going down through, because it's got like a shut-off valve here too. But I guess if we have to, if this doesn't work, we can replace it later. I don't know that I kind of forgot about this one, so I don't know that I have enough hose to replace this one also. But we'll at least get started with this one, since that's where I seem to have found a blockage. So, and then I also got a new elbow, because this is 5/8 hose, but these elbows they put in there were 1/2 inch, so they really don't seal up very well. So we'll pop this apart and see if we can get that pulled out of there. There we go, we got that one off, and we'll pull this out of here. I'll take the new hose. Jordan, you want to watch down there when it comes out? Yep. Sticking out down there?
Not yet. But I can't see it. I know why it's stuck though. I saw why.
Oh, is it hitting that bolt?
No, not the bolt. Down here it gets like it's catching on an edge. Is there like a screwdriver or something?
Yeah. Here it is. Here.
Stuff it down again. Oh, there it is. Okay. She's through. Here.
Okay, grab it and pull it up towards where that valve is. Make sure you get enough. I want to have plenty. Hang on, don't put it on yet, because I got to put a clamp on there.
I think this is plenty.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Plenty.
All right, I'll just cut it off then, and we'll hook it up. Here, put one of those clamps over the hose and then stick it on that valve, and I'll tighten it up after. Hang on a second, pull it off. I'm just going to blow in this end to make sure there's no dirt got in there. No, it's good. That's good enough for now. I can put it on the rest of the way later. that down in there. And we can close the lid when we're ready. Well, we got that hooked up. So now once we get chores rolling, we'll fire this up and get it warmed up to feed cows, and we'll see if we got any cab heat. All right, so there's one other thing I wanted to do. I didn't think of it beforehand, but the hose that we took out of here, I blew through it once I got it out of there, and I was able to blow through it. So it could have a separation inside, maybe, that it's when it gets hot, it's coming apart or whatever. But so what I wanted to do, in case it was airlocked, I got this tote here that I had some coolant in with this pump, and then we put a connector on the hose, and I shut this valve and put it in here, opened the radiator cap, and then we pumped a bunch of coolant through, and it pumped all the way through, and I watched in the radiator to make sure that it was getting back to there, it was raising the level. So that's all open. And it shouldn't be airlocked now that we pumped a bunch of coolant through there. So, all right, well, we're back in the evening here now after chores. I had the 806 fired up, running. Didn't get it real warm, just hauling the feeder wagon with it, but warm enough where it should have been blowing heat out of the cab heater, and it wasn't. I was trying to figure out what was going on. So it should go on the other side. It should go through that hose up and then comes back down this side. And it goes into here and back into the bottom of the block. And then this, for the heater, comes out of the same, I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's tapped into the same block that feeds the cab heater. So this is the heater we plug in to heat up the engine. Well, these hoses here were all hot. The one coming out of the other side was ice cold. Nothing was flowing through it. These were hot. And this hose was hot. Now, there's supposed to be a check valve in here that doesn't allow coolant to flow back this way. But I think that's what was happening, because this would be the path of least resistance back into the engine versus having to pump it up through there. So I had pulled it back down in front of the garage. I took this off. And I had it running. It wasn't super hot, but it was warm enough you could feel what was hot and what wasn't. So I plugged this Y off with my thumb and revved it up a little bit. I was getting a little bit of coolant coming through here, but I could feel way more pressure building on my thumb. So that's when I thought, well, it must be coming back through here. So I took and I pinched this hose off while it was running, and voila, we had heat in the cab. So I don't think I'm going to bother pulling this all apart and just seeing what's going on, if that's stuck or if it's faulty. That's a lot of messing around. I might just put a inline valve in here, or maybe they make an inline check valve. I'm not sure, because the heater works, so I don't think I want to bother changing that out just for that check valve. But I think that's what's going on. Probably wouldn't have needed to replace that hose, but that wasn't an expensive deal. But so we do have heat in the cab. I just need to figure out what I'm going to do with this line to block that off so it flows up through there instead of just taking the shortcut. Hey everybody, it's a couple days later. Got the 806 fired up. It's kind of cold out today. I think it maybe got up to like 30 degrees above zero. But I just fired this up, running it around. I wanted to get it warmed up some. I haven't been working it hard, but it's pulling that Badger box around a little bit. But I put a valve in here above this heater because I thought that my coolant was flowing backwards through the heater back into the block instead of up through the cab. So I put this valve in and shut it off, and that fixed it. The cab is just blowing heat now like crazy. And the tractor's not even really warmed up fully yet. The gauge isn't even all the way up. So that fixed the problem. It's, I guess it's not like it's supposed to be. I think there's supposed to be a check valve or something in that heater. But the main thing is we got heat. So that's what we were going for. Hey everybody, it's a few days later. You'll have to bear with me. I got a little bit of a cold, so I probably sound a little off. But I wanted to wrap up this video on this heater on the 806 and kind of explain what's been going on, what I've been finding out here. And I may wind up replacing this heater, but I want to get some of your inputs on what you think could be going on. So I'll flip you around here and show you what's been going on. So I've been running the tractor. I've got this valve in there like I talked about, and the cab heat has been working great. But the issue that I have run into now is, so if I want to use this heater and I plug it in, this valve open, it heats this hose all the way up, good. And we'll go around to the other side here. It heats up the thermostat block, good. This gets all nice and warm, and that's as far as it heats. The head will be cold, the block will be cold. And so what I was thinking was happening was that the check valve in this heater was maybe installed backwards, because that's how it was acting. So I did take this off. I looked at it. The check valve is in there the right way. But it is not sealing completely tight. I don't know if, I'm assuming they're supposed to. It's basically just a little plastic ball in there that seals up against when it tries to flow back. Because when I pulled this hose off and blocked this end, the coolant was still running back through the heater and running out. So that is telling me that that's not sealing all the way. So what I'm thinking is going on is, you know, as this heats, the hot water rises and the cool water is supposed to come in and fill that up, and that's how it circulates. But if this isn't sealing all the way, I'm just wondering if this coolant is not just kind of going back and forth here. It's not allowing it to flow. Maybe I'm wrong. I did swap these around on this Y. I don't know that would make any difference, but it didn't make any difference. I don't know why it would, but I thought, well, I'll try it. So I don't know. I'm thinking it's the check valve. I know some of you had mentioned or asked why I didn't just put a block heater in here that goes directly into the block in one of the frost plugs. That is something I could do and just get rid of this altogether. I guess the main reason I didn't is just because this is the only type of heater that we usually use. I mean, every one of our tractors has, you know, a tank heater on it. Not this specific brand, but and they all heat terrific. The 1256 will actually melt the snow off the hood in the wintertime if it's plugged in for a while. So that's the only thing that I can think of, is there's just something messed up here. So something, like I said, right now, this time of the year, I'm not going to need the heater over summer. But yeah, I just wanted to get your guys' input on that. If you've ever had anything like that happen, if that makes sense what I'm talking about, if that check valve is not sealing all the way. So for right now, we're just going to keep running it like it is and go from there. But I think that that's got to be the issue. So anyway, I want to thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. God bless, and we'll see you in the next one.
Well, Ruthie just had her first kids, and she had triplets. The buckling, and then 2 doelings. That one there is really tiny.